Chosen ones, as you continue to wake up, you will figure out that you will remember who you are. So many things will make sense. All the puzzles will fit. And you will discover the reason why things have always been happening the way they have. As you come onto this plane as a young soul, as a child, you have been deactivated. The reason why you have been deactivated was you had to experience this 3D reality of the life that you live on this plane. During that time, you would now learn so many lessons about life. Most likely you've been born in difficult families, toxic families, and your life has always been very, very hard from the beginning. But for some reason, you've always made it out on the other side. No matter what used to happen your way along your life, during your life, you come out. You rose from the ashes. People beat you down, you got back up. People tried to poison you, it failed. Some of you even went through very difficult health conditions, hospitalized for months. And we can talk about a lot of things that has happened to you as a chosen one. And now the question is coming, the big question. How did you make it till this time? How did you happen to survive? How did you happen to manage to this date? How come you're still here? Even if that in a very young age, at a young age, there was people that was around you who could feel a very unusual energy about you. So if you've been asking yourselves why people used to treat you a certain way, when you was in your families, when you was in schools, wherever you went, out in the streets, out in the public, why did people usually treat you a certain way? Why did people usually reject you? Why did people usually scapegoat you? Why did people usually punish you? That is because there is an anointing. And whenever you show up in any setting that you have been, there is something about you that has usually made people, uncomfortable with your presence. And that is why so many people treated you the way they did. So this whole thing wasn't really personal. As you continue to wake up, you will also understand that this entire experience wasn't really personal. It was just happening on a spiritual level, whereby you was actually fighting with unknown entities. Okay? So most of the battles you fought, for some reason you have won. You see, at a young age, if God had really revealed to people who you were, I can promise you couldn't survive. So your deactivation was for a reason. It happened on purpose. A protected person is also protected spiritually and in so many ways, spiritual ways. For you to be able to survive this entire time on this universe, on this plane, you had to be deactivated. You had to forget, You had to forget who you were, because a lot of you guys, when you wake up, you finally remember that, oh, this is who I am. Some of you, the light bulbs are starting to turn on, and you're remembering, oh, this is the person that you've always been. And, you're stepping into your authentic self and trying to be that person that you came here to be. The enemy has always been around you. But you see, even if your presence has always made people insecure, feel insecure, uncomfortable, you've been triggering people wherever you went. For some reason, you went around to certain places. People used to get triggered by your presence. They didn't want to be around. They didn't want you to be seen. Everything that has been happening was for a reason. God had to hide you from the enemy. Because when you are born in very toxic situations, maybe families, environments, and everything, very unbearable situations and conditions, the only way to protect you was to hide you. And this has worked for you at some point, because now you are able to experience life on this 3D and try to be like everybody else. But even you see that however much you try to be like anyone else, things have still not worked out because you still figured out you couldn't fit in. So for you, living on this 3D reality has been a very tough experience because you always struggled to fit in. Okay? If the enemy knew wherever you went, if they knew who you were, I can promise you, these kind of people that we've been dealing with, these energy vampires and these narcissists and these kind of, dysfunctional, toxic people, if those people knew at an early age who you were, I can tell you and I can promise you, you wouldn't survive. The only option was to hide you, okay? The only option was to make you forget. You now start to experience life, you start to see things, you start to go through some very, very serious lessons because there is things that you need to learn on the 3D. Because the chosen one is a person on a spiritual mission. Your mission is spiritual. There has to be some point whereby you're going to be activated. And you finally going to be able to understand the reason why you're here. And now, as you step into your purpose, you're going to continue to help the people around you, friends, families, and the environments around you. So, you could ask yourself a question: if people could not stand your presence while you have been deactivated, what would make you believe that they would stand your presence when you have been activated in that time? So this deactivation was happening for your evolution. There were supposed to be some things you had to go through. You had to go through some serious classes, serious exams, serious lessons. You had to learn very important lessons. Because there is things that usually happen along your journey that are going to be beneficial for you at your point of activation and at the point whereby you'll be able to now start to understand your purpose and why you're here. Okay? We have already done the video yesterday. The enemy is afraid of the power that is inside of you. Even at the activation, at the point of the activation, the enemy was always afraid of you. So people could not treat you the way that you wanted them to treat you or you expected them to treat you. So they had to treat you in a certain way. You see, a chosen person is a person who is born with this beautiful light, okay? Empathy, love, authenticity, truth, all these things is light in itself. And very many people don't possess these gifts, okay? There's a few selected people that possess these kind of abilities. These are natural born gifts. They are something that you're born with these gifts. The enemy always knew there was something about you they couldn't figure out, Your parents kept on beating you down, killing your self-esteem, making you reliant and codependent on them, because it is only this way that the enemy would be able now to do whatever they wanted, or they were like. But still, even at that stage, in that time, you have always been under extreme divine protection. So you see, there's people who try to do horrible things to you, and they cannot really figure out and understand how come that they are trying so hard. Whenever they take something from you, it comes back to you, double or triple. Whenever they do something, you get back up. Whenever they beat you down, you get back up. It's like you're just keeping on moving, and people don't understand the energy and the power that is behind you. So for your life, as it has been all this entire time, it has not been a walk in the park. You have been usually under extreme attacks, physically, spiritually, mentally, emotionally, psychologically. You've been under spiritual attacks this entire time. But whatever used to happen, it did not really matter what happened. You always rose and got back up on your feet. The chosen one, you are a very rare breed, okay? You're very rare. People see you as different. People see you as mysterious. People see you as unpredictable. People cannot put really a finger to what it is about you that they can't really understand. Because, when a person tries to understand you and they can't, it frustrates them so much to an extent whereby they start to do very horrible things to you because they cannot understand you. They have failed to penetrate your aura and they cannot understand what you have got on the inside, okay? Everything about you is hidden by God. The enemy isn't supposed to know and to see who you are. You are supposed to be hidden. The only time you're going to be able to rise out and come out of that shell is when you have been activated to awaken, because that is the only moment you are going to be able to walk into your purpose and walk in your divine purpose and eventually become the greatest version of you. That is the exact reason why you have been hidden this entire time from the enemies, from the foxes, from these energy vampires, from toxic people, from destructive people. Is the reason why your body has been hidden this entire time. So let us know what you think about this video in the comment section below. You guys know that I do love and appreciate your support. Book a session, donate or support my channel if you want to. Everything you need, you will find it in the description below. And until then, I will catch you guys in my next one. There's almost signing out. Much love and blessings. Peace.